distinguished guests, my fellow veterans, ROTC students. Hey, band, great job. I appreciate it. I like it. We're out here today to honor these two gentlemen and many, many more. Why are we here? Why is the Medal of Honor important? What is the Medal of Honor? Is it some strange award that people stand up, or your grandfather smacks you in the back of the head and says, stand up when that man walks by you? Is it something we just watch on TV where we have a ceremony at the White House? What is the Medal of Honor? The Medal of Honor given in the name of Congress. Well, I've got to dial back a little bit before I talk about the Medal of Honor to why do we serve? A great book was written a few years back, and the title of the book was Why We Serve. And I read the book, and I started struggling with that. Why do we serve? I've been told it's a calling. I agree with that mostly. But why do we serve? Do we serve because of a grandiose idea of this country, America, this experiment that we have? Is that why we serve? I say altruistically, maybe, but realistically, this is why we serve. Today, here, local communities, kids growing up watching ceremonies like this, kids appreciating these great towns and cities that we live in. That is why we serve. We serve because of Friday night lights, those football games on Friday night, those basketball games on Friday night, those recitals, the opportunities that we have. That is why we serve. We cherish those opportunities. We cherish days like today. We cherish the ability to come down here, come to the beach, unharassed. You come down here and you don't worry. You live in Norwalk, you don't worry. I live in Fairfield, I don't worry. I live in America, I don't worry. These are the days, these are the reasons why we serve. So when a young man or woman feels compelled to serve, raises her right hand or his right hand, and says, you know what, I'm going to give up my civil rights. I'm going to join the United States military, and I'm going to serve. There's another key word, serve. Something other than myself. In today's world that moves a million miles an hour, and people are very self-absorbed, kids leave and go to serve, to do something for other than themselves. They raise their right hands, and they say, today, I'm going to board a ship. Today, I'm going to get on a plane. Today, I'm going to leave the safety and security of my home, and I'm going to deploy around the world. Around the world. The 7 seas. Wherever it may be, but around the world. Not here in the United States, but forward deployed. I've been fortunate enough to serve all over the world. I just came home from Bahrain. Last year, I was in Jordan. I've had the opportunity to serve in Iraq. I've had the opportunity to deploy to Okinawa, Japan. I've sailed on ship. I've been given opportunities of a lifetime. But the best part about a deployment is coming home. This is the best country in the world. This is the best place on earth. That is why we serve. Going forward is great. Going forward with your fellow Marines is phenomenal. It's the best experience you could ever have. I kind of like to joke with the Marines and call it the ultimate man camp. I load a ship, I take my boys, we forward deploy. It's the best feeling and experience in the world. But coming home is even better. And anybody who's deployed can tell you, coming home is the best, which validates why we serve. So now you have men and women serving in forward deployed areas in not so nice conditions. Every day. Today there is a Marine, soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, somewhere in the world, standing on that wall or standing by that gate saying, you're not coming here, not today, not while I'm alive. So as we're engaged in battles all over the world, we have a very few, that lay down their lives. Now, are they laying down their lives like these two men on the wall behind me? Do they lay down their lives because of this United States of America? No, they lay down their lives for the same reason why we serve and why we fight. For your man on your left and the man on your right. That is the sole reason a man jumps on a hand grenade, a man charges a machine gun nest, a man stays up all night long firing until he can't fire anymore. That is what the Medal of Honor is all about. The Medal of Honor is when a man gives up his life for the man on his left, the man on his right, and his unit. There are stories, constant, numerous stories of young men who have been wounded and wake up in MASHs or caches or hospitals around the world, and the one thing they say, sir, you got to get me back. You got to let me get back to my unit. I got to get back there. I got to serve. I'm not a quitter, sir. I'll get back. That's what they say. And it's not a movie quote. It's not a movie line. I've seen it even in training. Had a young man, appendix burst right before we were supposed to go to Iraq. Emergency surgery, intensive care. And as my sergeant major and I stood over his bed wondering what the hell happened here, he looks up, opens one eye, and says, don't you think about not taking me to Iraq? And the sergeant major kind of laughed and said, don't worry, we'll figure it out. He's like, no, sergeant major, I'll get out of this bed and I'll fight you. But I'm going to Iraq. That is why we fight. But more particularly for me, that is why I lead. That's the young man that motivates me. That's the young man that gets me going every day. They're selfless. That is what service is all about. That is what the Medal of Honor is all about. We are given everything. And very few, less than 1%, serve today. They go out and they put their lives on the line. They're very special people. You got to ask yourself, why did they do what they did? How could they do what they did? Give up all this? Give up this life? And what's the common statistic amongst all those young fallen men and women? They're young. Their stars have not even begun to shine as bright as they could have. Their lives not to be written. But they died for this nation. You know, as Memorial Day approaches, people get solemn. They want to hang their head. They want to hang a wreath. They want to cry. They want to say, oh, this is so sad. But you know what? As you look to the heavens these following weeks, and you remember your loved ones, you remember your friends who have served, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, you know, they don't want you to be sad on a day like today, but they want you to appreciate their service. As these two men look down today, they're smiling. They're smiling at what Norwalk's become. They're smiling at what America is. And they gave for that experiment. They gave for this. So as you go forward over the next couple of weeks and you celebrate veterans and you celebrate service and you celebrate the fallen, look up to the heavens and say thank you. And then live. Live. Make your communities better for you having been there. Too many people just come and go. Too many people just get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Make your community better. Leave your mark on the community. It doesn't have to be in a uniform. It can be in any way, shape, or form. But make this community better for you having lived on this planet. Don't just take. Give back. Give back in experience. Give back in strength. Give back in time. Give back in mentorship. Those men gave everything. And you just need to look to the heavens and say thank you and enjoy that Saturday. Enjoy that ball game. Enjoy that free time. Enjoy being in that stadium and not worrying if that stadium is going to blow up. We're the only people around the world that live like we do. We live well, but we live well because we live on the backs of those who sacrifice their lives. That is who's given us freedom. It's not the press. It's not politicians. It's those young soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen. On the backs of 18-year-olds do we have freedom. They've given, and we've taken. But now it's time for us to give. I'm totally impressed to see the young ROTC young men and women here. I think that's great. I started in high school ROTC in 1983. I think it's great. I'm proud of you. I think it's a great calling. I think it's a great chance to see who you are and give back to your community, and good for you. I'm proud of you, and I think it's a great, great thing that you're doing. To all of you, thank you for letting me come here today. I'm honored to be here today. But please go home and think, what can I do for my community? How can I better my community? How can I make this a better place to live? Because those two men on the wall never, ever got to see the full potential of their lives. Thousands have not been able to give the full potential of their lives. Time has been stolen from their families. So if they can give that ultimate sacrifice for their buddy, their man on their left or their right, I think everybody here can do something for their community, something for their neighbor, something for their town. Let it not be about yourself. Let it be about this great experiment, the United States of America. Freedom is a wacky word we love to throw around. It's kind of like leadership. It's this weird thing. We throw it to the wall and see what sticks. Worry about your small town. Worry about Norwalk. Worry about Norwalk High. Worry about Brian McMahon. Worry about being a better student. Worry about being a better son, daughter, cousin, uncle, aunt. Be better. These men sacrificed their lives so we could be better. And as they look down on us, they should demand that we be better. Thank you very much for having me here today. I very much appreciate the opportunity to talk to you all on such an important topic. And God bless this great republic. Thank you.